I'll be right here.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Ask Aviator podcast number 21, as John put it, the finally legal episode. Tonight we're joined by a special guest, Rick.
Hi, I'm Rick.
I was going to call him Mr. Magoo because that's what he told me to call him, Mr. McGow.
McGow.
I'm really bad with names.
It's no. I grew up as Mr. Magoo. It's not a problem.
I like it. So we'll talk more about why Rick's here in just a second. But first and foremost, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone tuning in live. We have 96 people currently listening live. If you're watching this or listening to it as a podcast later in record mode, please join us in the future. We'd love to have you live. Eric Sheridan, Vertical Lines, CT Shoot Flyer, JW Ramp, John, and so many more. Jeff Stang, hopefully in the chat as well. I've seen lots of good familiar names. Always a pleasure to have all of you here. This is what makes it fun. Mark Dillner, he's coming to train with us in March. Mark is in for a treat, I think. We're going to have a lot of fun. But Rick is here because I got to take him for a tandem on Saturday.
We're going to talk about that?
We are. We're going to talk about two parts of it. First, we're going to talk about the fact that you didn't let on that you had any aviation experience beforehand. So
this is true.
I'm a little embarrassed. Because the front runner for his call sign from the week of training is currently Aquaman.
True. It is true.
We go to take off, and it's so wet in Central Florida right now. We've had thunderstorms every afternoon and sometimes every morning for months, and so our entire airport's under about 4 inches of water. And so we lay out on the taxiway, and we're going to inflate, taxi down the taxiway, take off. It's going to be great. Except the wind shifts. And so instead of being from this direction, it's from that direction. And so the wing turned left about 30 degrees. We chased it. I'm going to say.
There's no we in this.
Okay, I chased it. You don't want responsibility for this?
I'm just along for the ride.
So we chase it. We jump off the taxi. We're going across the infield. And I've heard reports that we had as much as an 8 to 12 foot long rooster tail of water chasing us as we went along about 300 yards of taxi at full power to keep the wing overhead.
Still have not dried my shorts out.
So it was my arms. My pants were soaked, but my sleeves from like here to my shoulder, from wrist to shoulder, were just completely and totally drenched. It was a deluge. And I kept thinking to myself, oh my God, what's this guy going to think? What's he going to think? And then we get off the ground and you're like, woohoo! It's like, okay, cool. He's all right.
Yeah, that happens all the time, right?
It's probably the most painful and beautiful thing that I've ever done.
Too much fun. More fun than I'm allowed to have in one day.
So this morning you had your first flight.
I did. I
How
had my
was it?
first flight. It was completely different than what I've ever done, and it was awesome. All
Really?
in that same package.
So you brought up the core element of what I wanted to talk to you about, because you're doing a few things that I think are really important. One is you're learning to fly with your son.
Yes.
How old is he?
Yes, he's 35.
So he's 30. He's got 2 years on me, old man. So he's 35, and you guys have been planning this for 2 years.
Yes.
And now you finally are here, and
Schedules matched up.
yeah, he soloed yesterday, right?
He's got 3 flights already.
Dang, man.
Yeah, 2 yesterday and 1 today.
All right, and you've got your first flight.
Yes.
What did it feel like compared to the tandem and compared to your normal flying?
Well, there's no comparison with the tandem in that, because first of all, I wasn't wet. So I can't compare that. But it's you're totally in charge. I mean, you are in charge, and so you either make it or you don't based on your skill level.
Right.
And which we got to today. God knows how it happened, but we got there.
Not bad for day 4.
Yeah. Yes. There was you always, I don't care who you are, you still have the butterflies.
Right.
Because you guys call the newbie, it's the FNG, you're still the new guy. And so you have those butterflies. But I just if you're just a robot and listen to the instructors, things will go well.
Which is really, really hard, especially for someone in your position. I have similar experiences, but nowhere near as many. I'm going to try to remember your whole biography, and I know I'm going to miss at least 2 parts. So
it's all good.
You were a pilot for C-130s in the Air Force.
Yes.
You did something else before that was also cool. Can't remember what it was.
I was in the 82nd Airborne Division, so I jumped
82nd
out of
Airborne,
I
right.
jumped out of the same C-130s.
All right.
In the Army, enlisted.
So 82nd Airborne, then you went and did you get your degree first?
I got out of the Army and went to college.
All right, and then you
in the Air
became
Force.
a pilot for C-130s. Then you retired from them after, was it 8 years?
7 years.
Okay.
7 years.
And then you went to this small company no one's ever heard of called American Airlines.
Yeah, that's small company.
Real small, smallest of the small. And you're flying. What are you flying for them?
737s. I even have a flight on the Max if you want to talk about that.
We could. One of the reasons why I asked Chris if I could have you on the show is I wanted to talk some about, ironically enough, the pilot shortage and because you and I kind of got in that conversation.
Yeah.
But first up, I've had a couple flights on the Max. Awesome airplane from a passenger standpoint. Like as long as you have that exit row, primo. It's
especially with long legs. I agree. Unless you're in the very front, which is just fine.
So you said how many years with American now?
29.
29 years. So the same amount as my uncle before he went back to United.
Oh,
okay.
Excellent.
So you've been flying commercial airliners for almost 30 years.
Yes.
Almost my whole life. Almost your son's whole life.
Yes.
And what made you guys want to do this? What was your driving force?
Well, first of all, I have to say my son Jarrett did all the research, because I don't have time. He did all the research, and he's really.
What are you talking about? You don't have time. All you do is get in an airplane. You can do all the research from the cockpit. You guys have Wi-Fi now.
We are paying attention 99.99% of the time.
To Netflix?
No. The Weather Channel.
Oh.
Anyway, what's the question? I've forgotten already.
So what brought you guys to want to learn to fly butt fans?
Anyway, because I had such a military background, I mean, we wanted to get a school that had primo instructors. And I seriously did not know what school did, and my son did. He's watched all the videos and seen all those videos. So he was up to speed. And so I said, you do the research, you figure out the time, and then we'll figure out the dates at some point. And that's how it all played out. Because he said, you want to do this? I said, absolutely. Because I am so used to flying high all the time. It's time to go in fast. It's time to go low and slow.
Right.
Because I've never been outside of a cockpit sitting in the air.
Except for the 82nd Airborne, which
that's true.
But a one-direction path.
It was almost 40 years ago, so the chutes were not so much pleasant after your land, so. Or even sit in them for that matter.
Yeah.
All
right. So you guys are from Virginia.
Yes.
We're going to be in Virginia in October.
I don't think I knew that.
We're going to be somewhere in the Shenandoah Valley. I'm
probably
not sure
Warrenton.
where.
Is that the?
Yes.
Because we want to try and work because my son is an hour. He's in Fredericksburg. I'm in Winchester. We're trying to work that into our schedule.
All right.
So
we're going to hang out there. It's going to be excellent. But first up, I'm truly proud of you for getting off the ground.
Well, thank you.
How old are you?
62.
62. So my dad's 73. So the concept of being able to run into the sky at 62 years old is pretty darn cool. I mean, it really is.
Well, it's really undescribable. I mean, it doesn't matter how much aviation experience you have. You still have to do the touchy-feely with everything. Right. You can watch all the videos you want, and that's a good thing to have that kind of knowledge base. But I know all about the weather. I know all about flaps and taking off and all this. I know all about that. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. And it actually makes it harder in some ways. Like I remember for me, it was my 16th flight, which I only had 2 in school. My 16th flight before I even liked flying the thing. Because I was so accustomed to a stick or a yoke and a throttle. I was so accustomed to flying something that I was used to.
Exactly.
It took so long, and hopefully your experience has been more pleasant than that. But no pressure. So it just I didn't feel like I had full control until I really got into the concept of what it felt like to make a real turn, to really develop the energy and to feel what the wing was doing. But man, once I did, and I said this to you guys on day one, like I love to fly my airplanes. They make me smile real big. But when I fly a paramotor, it makes me giggle. And there's like some innate child in me that comes alive. And it's just kind of silly. And I love it.
I want to do, I think it was Mike, the instructor said he just wants to fly up and drink a cup of coffee in the morning and watch the sunrise. That's got my name written all over it.
Yeah, we had a student in, I think it was March he was here. He's from Lake Wales. In fact, his dad's name is on the FBO building. Kurt Ammons is his name, junior. Or the third, I can't remember which. Kurt has been flying forever. He's got a Pacer. He has a whole bunch of short wing Pipers, and then he came to learn to fly paramotors. And he's an AMP. He's I think he has his IA now, and just brilliant guy. Worked for FedEx for 20-something years.
Right.
And lives up in Memphis. And he came down. And he spent a couple weeks with us. And By the end of it, he was no longer in class. He's just coming to hang out, and he'd get in the paramotor. He's flying a trike, and he'd get in the paramotor, and he kept saying, "I can't wait to go up and fly and drink my cup of coffee," because that's what he does in the airplane, right? He gets in the chief or whatever, and so he goes up and he sends me this picture of himself. He's like finally up at altitude with his cup of coffee. And he said he was having so much fun he forgot to drink it. So he came back down with a full cup of coffee.
I can see that happening. Yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
It's like, dude, you worked for weeks to get to this point, and you forget your cup of coffee. All right. I know you need to go fly.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
I don't
sir.
want
I'm
to
ready.
take too much of your time, but I just wanted to honestly, to each of you guys, it's become so weird for me, like as a business owner, to not be as deeply involved in every aspect of the training process, but to get to watch from the outside and see your guys' joy and the way you're coming together as a group, and it makes me happy.
Well, I want to add my classmates into this little podcast if I can, and especially Josh, who's 17 years old.
Josh is the man.
And he makes it look so easy. And, of course, Jason was out there. He's got a family. He made it look great. There's my son, of course, Jarrett. He's got 3 kids. He's a busy man as well. So you all can do it. And there's a Connor, and there's Mike, and then there's Tim, and then there's myself. So I had to give a shout out to those guys.
No,
they're
we're watching
it
right now. So if you guys are in the Red Schoolhouse right now and you're watching, thank you so much for being here. And you could have been here. It would have been totally fine to have you here too. So, but I guess if you have to fly.
There are worse things to do.
I'm deeply jealous, actually. I haven't flown since Saturday, and I'm starting to twitch a little bit.
Come on out. Come on out.
I got to go test fly that electric. It's begging me to fly it. So.
I got a camera. I can film it for you.
All right, I like it. All right, guys. I'm going to bring John in here shortly. For now, I'm going to answer a ton of questions that have come in. Rick, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks for sharing your story.
All right.
We'll go fly. We got to go fly butt fans and airplanes.
Sounds good.
And soon I'm going to convince you to buy an airplane too.
It's possible.
You have to fly all the things.
Trust me, I've got plans. I have plans.
All right. So let's jump into questions. Rick, thank you again for being here. Go fly. Have fun.
All right.
And we'll do this again next
Thanks,
week.
guys. Hope to see you soon at this place.
This place right here. Thank you, Rick. All right.
Thank you.
Holy cow, there's a lot of questions in here. Anthony Vella, great to see you. Rick, enjoy again. See you soon, my friend. I have to bring a quick shout out to this. This is Wiggle Pennsylvania Bourbon. This is a gift from 2 of our ancillary instructors. They're intern instructors looking to see if they want to work here. We want to work with them. And they actually just got married on Thursday. So huge shout out to them. They brought bourbon for the podcast. So it means I had to have a sip of this water that was ice and turn it into seeing what this is all about. So Dave Counts, great to see you. Parahooner, always a pleasure. Matt Y, Tony Marzano, Alex, Jim Sear, 120, DM Simpson, Brent Lofton, lots more. Alex Collage, Vertical Lines, Chris, Kelby Cox, so many great folks. We have a lot of good people in there right now. Over 100 people watching and listening live, as well as a couple of thousand more that follow us on all the different podcast apps. Anthony Vella, I would love to have you come down and be on this live stream. The best part about having you here live with us would be very, very clear which side the beautiful side of the table is. So I can sit over here. And I could even build myself a hobbit hole to hide my face, and we could put Anthony over there, and just him and his Levi's will run the show. It'll be fantastic. Bob Blitheract, how much is the smoke kit? We don't currently offer a smoke kit, Bob, simply because we designed one, built it, got everything finalized using parts you could buy on Amazon. Our cost was like $96 before the $25 nylon sack, and then someone else came out with one that sadly did not work as well as we hoped it would, but it was so much closer to our cost that we couldn't justify investing all the money into, selling it. So, yeah, that's a very delicate balance as a business owner. Do we invest, say, $5,000 into having a stock of smoke kits? We have to market it up enough to be able to give our dealers a large enough margin that they can justify servicing them and having them there, etc. There's so many different elements of it. So, yeah. We're always working on it. So, hey, huge shout out really quick to my mom, Tina, my dad, Bob, and my uncle, Peter, all here on the live stream as well. Guys, great to have you here. It makes my heart happy to have my family watching. We've had a really good day of having people in family around. So thank you very much. David Goyer, are you guys going to get into selling electric motors? Yes, David, we've been working on and developing a very special electric motor. It's actually designed from the ground up as a Moster replacement. So it's it'll strap right into your Moster engine mounts. It's very similar in weight, a little bit lighter, and it should have a 20 to 30 minute flight time. So pretty cool stuff. Slick Timmy, I get paid weekly. Can you do training installments every 2 weeks? Yes, we can set that up for you any way you'd like, Slick Timmy. We can get your training installments taken care of, no problem. Partha, great to see you. Cody Esterline and Ripman, always a pleasure. All right, to answer some more questions from Anthony Vella, does your mobile flying app factor traffic into your flight's ETA? None of the ones that I use have. I imagine there may be that possibility. Even with my ADS-B in and out, nothing has changed as far as traffic deviations. It's all based upon your distance and airspeed, or ground speed rather. So no, I've not seen one that does that, Anthony. Parahooner, what's going to be the next biggest step in paramotor? The next biggest thing, the next biggest phase, I think will probably be... Man, that's a tough question. I think the next big thing that we might have the expectation of seeing are either better schools where the expectation is that you leave as a much better pilot, as far as or more adventures. Things like as you become a pilot and start moving forward, you don't just stop at basic training. You actually progress beyond your basic training and have more interaction. You have more mentorship. You have a better way to make yourself a better pilot. As far as equipment goes, I think that the next major evolution that we're going to see is electrics. I think that most people have this expectation they want to have a 2 or 3 hour flight time for an electric paramotor. And the reality is that most pilots don't fly that long. My average flight's 12 to 15 minutes, and that's generous. But I'm going up to do acro. If I'm going to do a cross country, I'm going to take my electric off and put an Atom 80 on it. So that's just, personal preference. But I think that there is definitely a potential of electrics being a big step. Even without batteries catching up, Bob Garber said electric will be the next big thing once batteries catch up. Even without batteries catching up, there's still a lot of value in having electric as an alternative. One of the posts recently on the Paramotor group on Facebook was how many paramotors do you have? And I think the average answer was 2 to 4 from everything I saw. And so the reality is an electric may not be the right thing for everything you do, but it's a fantastic tool for a lot of the flying you do. So I think that electrics definitely have a potential. All right. Excuse me. I'm going to bring in a very special guest, someone you guys have not heard from in a very long time, just to help me so I don't have to do all the talking. And that's John. John freaking Hancock, the man with more hair than he's ever been on stream with before. How's it going, John?
Hey, yes, I need a haircut. I don't know if you heard the story. You heard the story. Yeah, my barber
It was my barber, and he totally screwed you over.
Our barber's
mean.
Stood me up. So it's all good. Is this mic on? Check, check.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Good.
So if you guys want to have a really great barber, his name is Jesse. He's at the lab in Lake Wales, Florida, and he will not show up to your appointment on time.
He does a great job when he's there.
This is true. This is very true.
Okay, what do we got here in terms of
Stephen Zavani asked, do you ever use a portable AHRS or ADS-B in on your paramotor? Absolutely, I have not. Using AHRS on a paramotor is a really interesting idea. So AHRS is a device that basically gives you instrumentation to fly illegal instrument approaches, etc. It's a fantastic tool. We had it in our 172. I have it in my RV6. I love AHRS. It's really cool to offer as a backup. However, no, I've not done it on my paramotor. The only person I know of that has flown a considerable amount with ADS-B in has been Bo Feldman, who is supposed to be here tonight. And for everyone who's listening now, I'm sorry it took me so long to get to this. It took me 22 minutes. Bo got sick today. He went to work at 6 o'clock this morning so he could come in here and be a part of this show tonight. And he had to go home this afternoon. He said he was feeling really sick, so I feel terrible. It makes me sad.
Bo.
Get better, Bo. We want to get you back here, man. We really do. All right, there are a lot of other questions coming in. One of the questions I saw was, what is better, Reflex or classic gliders? Brian Pearson asked that question. I will jump a little bit on it and just say I think that they both serve their purposes, but a Reflex glider is only a Reflex glider if it's trimmed out. It's a classic glider trimmed in, so it means it's both. And there is really not a better. It's just schools of marketing thought that say that one is better and the other one sucks. And any time you have a marketer, look at politicians. If you go through any government anywhere in the world and you listen to politicians and all the politicians saying is how terrible their opponent is, instead of how great they are and what they've worked so hard toward and what their goals are and what their missions are, the chances are that's not a person you really want to elect.
Right. Yeah, I'm deep. My opposition is black and white.
Well, and that's
Right.
the problem. That's the issue that I have with all of these posts and things we see.
Right.
Are people who they spend their time casting negative thought about other people instead of actually giving legitimate answers toward what makes them better, and not them giving those answers, but their clients and
Right.
their families and the people that matter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have no interest whatsoever in ever coming on this podcast, this YouTube channel, CNN or anywhere else and being like, this is the Eric Farewell Show. We're the greatest. Look at how awesome we are. No, I want to be about our clients. I want to tell the stories of what my incredible team does. I want to talk about how passionate you are about this business and this sport. I want to talk about how much Nina works until 11 o'clock at night some days. I want to talk about how Chris has given up so much to be here and how AJ has thrown his entire life's work into this. Now,
Yep.
I want to share how Fletch will never give up and will wake up before everyone else to make sure that he's there to serve people the most that day.
Yep.
I want to talk about how Mike wears really tight T-shirts. Like, these are important things to me. It's never going to be about how we're better than someone else or I'm better than someone else. I want to talk about the team that we have and about the clients that we have, because that's what makes this business special, and they are what makes this all worth it. So what's the best glider, Reflex or Classic? I don't care. What I care about is the people that surround it and finding the right equipment for your mission. And if you're going to be a thermal pilot that's going to go up and you're going to learn to free fly, and you're going to do basically that, you're going to free fly 80% of the time, or you're going to thermal fly 80% of the time, you want a classic glider. You want a Mojo, you want a Kona, you want something that's going to keep you safe and stable. If you're going to do cross-country flights like Tucker did on the Icarus for 1,100 miles, or Bo did just from here to Oshkosh, you're going to want a Reflex glider because you don't want to go 4 miles an hour. You know?
Yeah.
So it's really all about the mission, and it's super, super important to have that consideration of who you're supporting and how they market themselves, because there's a lot of hot air in this sport, and it's a question of what we do with it. All right.
Great rant.
You like that rant?
I loved it.
It was pretty quality.
I feel good about it.
I haven't tried this yet. Is it good?
I love it.
Here, cheers. What are the names of the people who gave us this again?
This is from Steve and Nicole.
Steve and Nicole. I'm so bad with names today. I'm so sorry, Steve and Nicole. They got married on Thursday. They live in Pennsylvania. They live in Lancaster, where I used to live. And there's baller skydivers who've threatened that if they come work here, they're going to make me start skydiving again.
Oh, boy.
And
not good
I'm kind of open to it.
So you're saying that their 1 week anniversary is coming up in 2 days?
Yes, in 2 days.
Wow.
1 week.
That's a big milestone.
Here's to you, Steve and Nicole.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Congrats, guys. That's awesome. Derek Trout's in the chat. Love
is
Derek
good.
Trout. Derek Trout's one of those guys that's just so excited to be here.
Derek's pretty awesome. All right, there was a great... Hey, my wife is here with our kids, August and Arthur. Good to see you guys. Always a pleasure. To answer Eric's question, and I'm not going to make it a Vitarazi Days this year. However, I do know what they're releasing. I could tell you. PayPal me. No, I'm just kidding.
They're releasing the... Can I say it?
You can't say it.
Okay.
Eric Howard asked a question. I'll wait and let it get copied and pasted. Actually, let's go. Here we go back. Where'd it go? Back up. Up. There we go. I just signed up for the February 29th class today and would like to buy a wing beforehand to start. Should I get the Mojo or the Spark 2? Any ambassadors in Dayton, Ohio? No ambassadors in Dayton, Ohio yet. However, we do have one in the Cleveland area that will be certified soon. Awesome guy. We'll be happy to connect you. Eric, I recommend a Mojo, my friend. Spark 2 is fantastic as well. I prefer the Mojo for learning. It's just a little bit more docile. Have you flown the Spark yet?
Nope. Can't wait.
Can't wait. All right, let's see
I
here.
hear it's really cool. They say that it's a little more spicy and a little more fun.
The
And it's
downside
like
is it oscillates a bit more.
Yeah, so it's a small stepping stone up from the Mojo, because students prior were going from the Mojo directly to like the Spider Roadster.
Right.
Now they get a little something in the middle, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Jordan Kinney asks, if you were a hot dog and you were starving, would you eat yourself? I know I would.
No,
I know that seems
I
a little
wouldn't be
wrong.
interested.
It's pretty cannibalistic. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So we have more questions coming in. If you have hot air, chop off the top and bottom of the paramotor. Thank you, Robert, California. I'm not sure what they're talking about colors for, but there's lots of colors going on.
Okay, I'm doing
Yeah.
a great job, so we're good.
Nina's pressing.
Nina's doing a great job.
She's on it.
YouTube, it looks a little orange.
So apparently on YouTube,
It's this.
we have a slight issue with the lighting, but John's fixing it right now. Kevin asks, is the Mojo Power due for an update? I asked that question recently, and I actually am going to be asking that question again very soon. We'll be at Coupicar or Coupicaro in Saint Hilaire, France next month. My wife and I are going.
Wow.
It's our first European travel adventure together. I've been to Europe a ton after we got married. I'd never been before we got married, and she's been to Europe a ton before we got married, but she's never been to France.
Wow.
So we're going.
Wow, Mr. and Mrs. Aviator.
It's gonna be pretty fun.
Do France.
Do France. We'll make some videos out of it. It'll be fun. So we'll ask about the Mojo. The last I've heard, they're not planning an update right now. I think the only things I would see changed on the Mojo I'd love to see shark nose, just for a little more efficiency. I'd love to see lighter weight fabric, which they already have in the Jomo. So, Eric Sheridan asks, how do you tell the difference between the 2.68 and 2.87 reduction on a Moster 185 Plus? I don't know.
What's he talking
Frankly,
about?
on the reduction drive, I need to ask that question of Vitrazzi. The only way to tell would be to measure the pulleys. Generally, it's the 2.68, but I can't remember. I apologize. I am not the world's most technically profound person ever.
Yeah, I don't know what that's in reference to.
Yeah. Donnie Dry says, have you seen the gas electric hybrid drones on YouTube? Harris Aerial has one that flies for 5 hours. Maybe good technology for paramotors. You seen that stuff, John?
No, that sounds pretty sweet.
That sounds fantastic. I
It's
wonder
a
how much it
drone?
weighs. Like, how much does it weigh?
Yeah. I don't want. Well, I can tell you this. I don't want batteries and a gas tank. I
Yeah.
really want to go either or.
Either
Having both is
or.
crazy.
So this is actually we could have a really good debate about this.
Me and
So,
you?
You and me.
Oh man,
Baby, we ain't nothing but mammals.
I love electric personally.
So this is why. So I drive a Toyota 86, which is a rear-wheel drive sports car with a really loud exhaust and a turbocharger. John drives a really obnoxious Tesla Model S.
Yeah.
And I feel like we should have a knockdown, drag-out fight about which is better.
Between our cars,
Yeah.
I mean, what's there to say? There's nothing to say. Mine drives itself. Does yours?
No.
Okay. What else we got?
I have to admit, I really want a Tesla. I don't have Tesla money.
It drives itself.
Maybe someday. Teslas are pretty sweet.
We
So
need to increase our prices before that happens.
we need to increase our prices dramatically. Training is now $35,000. Hashtag Eric needs a Tesla. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Mike Muzak says, "Can you fish from a paramotor?" And Tony Marzano says, "Now that would be some fishing." I'm sure that it's possible. Derek Truss says my car is way better. I love my car,
Yes.
and I would miss my car. I would miss tuning and building up car. Like I enjoy the process of making it my own.
Yeah, having all that manual labor, all that work to do is great.
Yeah, although I will admit, like
Changing oil.
the older I get, Tesla, man. Gosh.
Yeah, so it's for the type of person who doesn't want to work on stuff. It really is.
So it's for me.
Well, is that you? I mean, I don't see that.
I'm the
way.
guy who had a turbo kit for 3 months before I finally convinced my buddy Bryant, who's one of our past students, to come and help me install it. By help me install it, I mean I laid on the floor while he installed it and let me hand him stuff because he's a baller.
So it's
Yeah.
for that type of it's for that type of guy. I don't want to, I don't like to mess with things. I'm not a mechanic. I don't know how to fix things. So now I have a big cell phone with wheels.
It's fantastic.
I love it.
So someday maybe you too could fly a butt fan cell phone without wheels. Or with wheels, your choice.
Butt fan cell phone.
Alex Collage says, did training 6 months ago, flew for the first time since then a few days ago. 29 flights so far. I'm still pretty nervous in the air. How long should I give it to feel comfortable in the air? Talk to me, John.
Man, if you're still around, I'd love to know what you're nervous about. Is it like a bump tolerance type of thing, or what are students nervous about? I mean, I guess we have students that are nervous for their first several flights, and I don't know. I've only been here since February, and I haven't seen anybody be nervous after like 3 or 4.
I
So
think
I don't
there's
know.
always a moment of nerves. I think if you're not having a moment of nerves before you launch, you
Yes,
might be a
of
psychopath,
course.
right? Like
Right.
You might be a sociopath.
You're
it's
standing there like
possible.
this. You're thinking, why did I get into this?
Like, what's gonna happen?
And
right?
then 10 seconds later, you're stoked.
Yeah, so I mean, I still have that. I don't have a moment of nervousness per se, but I do have a moment of like self-reflection and direct my intent. I really focus on what my intent is, what my goals are, how it's supposed to feel, what it's going to look like, and I close my eyes, kind of say a little silent prayer.
Please inflate.
It literally
Please
is.
no cravats.
Please inflate. please don't screw this up,
So much
Eric.
it.
Oh my gosh, Oshkosh this year.
You know what?
That downwind launch
Yeah.
though.
Well, at
Oh,
least you didn't. I mean, you didn't blow your launch, and
I don't know how.
Well,
I had one of the best pilots in the country behind me freaking
Eric,
blow his launch.
Eric makes absolute certain that for all Paradigm performances in which he is a participant, that he launches first.
I had never done. Real, actually, no, it's not
You
true.
do.
It's not quite true because I usually fly B team. This time I flew A team.
Yeah, he makes sure that the air is nice and clear for him, and he launches first, and then he has Adriel Martin trying to launch behind him.
Yeah.
That was ugly.
Well, it was a downwind launch.
Yeah, it
and the
was
thing
all
is, when
kinds
you're at an air show and the air boss calls, like Mike Isley's like, "Hey, listen, like
Right.
Paradigm, your airspace." Now, from that moment, we have 600 seconds.
Right. What are you supposed to do?
To put together a 536-second show, right? So, or no, 563-second show. So we have like a 40-something second buffer,
Right.
and so we can't like wait for the wind to turn around. We just have to go.
Right.
So yeah, to answer your question, Alex, a little bit better. My opinion is this: there's no replacement for experience and time. So fly a lot. If you aren't flying frequently, you're gonna be more nervous. If you are flying frequently but not for a long period of time, 5-minute flights, he might be more nervous.
Yeah, we need to know what he's nervous about. We had a guy last week or it was a wife, saying my husband is worried about breaking his equipment. He finished training, came home, he won't fly because he doesn't want to break his equipment. So that's a totally separate issue entirely.
Right.
That's not somebody who's nervous in the air. He just doesn't think he can do it right.
One Piston puts it very perfectly. Says he will never feel 100% comfortable. He's been a pilot for 25 years. He's always looking for places to land if the engine stops making noise. Whatever you're afraid of in the air, whether it's not getting in the air itself, which is more of my concern,
Right.
or being in the air and wishing you were on the ground, the reality is that you're doing something supernatural.
Yep.
And the whole point of doing this is to overcome your fear.
Yep.
That we realized, I've realized, I think you've realized, that we don't come truly alive until we overcome our fears. Because anything we're living in fear of, we're living outside of faith, right? We're living
Exactly.
outside of the purpose and the person we're meant to be. So you're going to have concerns. And choosing to overcome them is the whole point of why we fly.
Right.
I mean, Wilbur and Orville didn't look at each other and go, "I'm scared, man. I'm not going to do it." They're like, "You or me? Let's flip a coin. I want in. It's gonna be scary. We don't know what's gonna happen, but we've got to do this. We have to overcome this. It's something we were meant to do. It's something we were meant to become.
100%.
Right? So it's our opportunity to overcome those fears. I am the exact same way as One Piston. I've been flying my whole life. And every time I get off the ground, I'm like, okay, if this goes wrong, what do I do? If that goes wrong, what do I do? Because I'm constantly trying to evaluate how to overcome what might go wrong versus be controlled by what might go wrong.
This is just game day jitters being taken care of due to preparation.
Absolutely.
If you're prepared and you're staying prepared and you've done your homework, you've done your pre-flight, you know that you're in a good area, you've picked a good time to fly. The weather is right for you. There's nothing to be nervous about. Just be prepared.
Absolutely. Vertical Lines asked a great question. I'm going to read it to you and let you answer it. Will Aviator ever have adventure missions?
Yes.
John Hancock.
Yes. Oh, man, I'm so excited. Is this still a secret?
No, I think you can share it since it's fully sold out.
Yes. So here's the thing. We put together our first one with Andrew Solano of Skyfield Flight Works. He's just an absolute professional when it comes to planning these things. So we planned our first one, and before I had a chance to market it, which is what I do, we just mentioned it to a couple people that were standing around at Oshkosh, and all of them booked it right away. So the first one is booked, but we'll get some good footage. We'll show you what it looked like, and we'll be planning them. If everything goes well, which we know it will, we'll be doing them as often as we can.
Yep.
And we'll actually, hopefully, be marketing them and allowing people to join other than the people that are just standing around.
Yeah, so we've wanted to do this for years. About 5 years ago, we did our first Aviator adventure, which was a class trip from past students to North Carolina for a week-long adventure paragliding transition course. And the weather was terrible, and we had the best time ever. We had ballet classes, we had ballroom dancing classes, we had yoga. We were in these incredible little cabins on this ridge with this paragliding launch site. My brother landed in a tree. I had a 60% collapse. It was fantastic.
Wow, great.
And
Sounds awesome.
we wanted to do more things like that for all these years, but we haven't had the opportunity just because there's so much going on. And to be able to facilitate it, it's a lot of work. And Andrew has wanted to do the same thing.
Yep.
So we said, Andrew, listen, you come to us with the idea. Mm-hmm. We'll tell you if you're crazy or not.
Yep.
We'll figure out a way to market it. We're actually operating this one at a loss with the desire to be able to share more of, the end goal is the same end goal we have for intermediate classes or advanced classes. The end goal is to build a better relationship and to make better pilots out of each of our students. So if you come to Aviator school and you want to learn how to be the best pilot you can be. You're going to be part of our Aviator family forever, and this is a great opportunity where I'm going to get to go hang out with what's now 5 of our past students, plus you, plus Micah, so that's 7,
Right.
plus Andrew, so that's 8. And we're going to fly from a small, it's kind of like the lost coast of Florida.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
didn't
an
know it
area-
was there.
Yeah, it's an
I had no
area near
idea.
and dear to my heart. So my grandparents bought a house on Dog Island in 1964, I think it was, for pennies.
Yeah.
And I grew up there. So that's an 8-mile long island, 3 miles off the coast of Florida, and it's deserted as heck. You can walk around it naked, you'll never see anybody.
Good.
Which is a good thing. You
Great
don't
to
really,
know.
yeah, it's important. So we're going to be about 20 minutes from there,
Yeah.
and we're going to fly up the rivers, across the inlets. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Is there going to be a cross Gulf flight?
I think probably so.
Little boat action, lots
Yeah.
of flotation.
I think it's going to be required. We have to go to Dog Island. We at least have to fly over to it. And
Do you know
land.
what the distance is? What the cross-water distance is?
From Apalachicola, it'll be like 12 miles. But if we
12
fly
miles?
to Carabel first, and we go up the river and then drop back down the
Mm.
St. John's, we could drop down the St. John's River, and then some of those beautiful. Oh my gosh, the terrain is insane. And there's also Carabel Airport right there. So I'm excited. And
Count me in.
We have. We're getting the entire thing, all the foods. We have brunch and dinner every day. Everything's all involved, and it's going to be pretty cool. So
Yep.
it's a luxury experience designed for those who want to have their hands held and not have to bring a motor wherever they travel.
Yep. You said that we're operating this one at a loss,
Yeah,
and
we
I can
can't do
tell
that
you
forever.
I can tell you that is, if we keep doing this, that is what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, but we get really great content out of it, and we get
Yeah.
to share what we love with our friends. So it's like a win-win, right?
And it's kind of like a vacation for us. Kinda.
for you, maybe.
Kind of. I mean, I'm going to be there working, but like at least we're out of the office. We're not sitting in our chairs in front of our computers. And
That's true. Hey, there's Ernie did a letter. Ernie's coming. He's one of the
Ah,
ones.
Ernie's in.
Ernie's
going.
in. I'm super stoked. John,
Yes.
you're from that area. If you're from that area, send us an email. We're looking for support people with boats in the area. So if you have friends with boats, yeah, and if you want to stay on Dog Island, also just contact me.
And let me do a future plug so I can get a little bit of a list going. If what we're discussing sounds like something you would like to do, send me an email and I'll put you on a short list. And as soon as we book the next one, I'll let you know right away. My email is john@aviatorppg.com. And just let me know if this type of like adventure vacation, type thing. We're providing everything for these people. Food, drinks,
Food, motors, yeah.
everything. So
lodging, of course. We got a
lodging, yep.
beautiful 8-bedroom place
Yeah,
on the beach.
We're
It's
gonna
be-
kick
yeah.
it together in a mansion on the beach. So we're pretty stoked about that. So send me an email. I'll put you on the list. We'll let you know as soon as we book the next one, and hopefully that one doesn't sell out too quick.
Yeah.
Andrew's in the chat.
Andrew Solano, we're
He's
going to
the
have
guy.
so much
Talk
fun.
to him. He's the guy.
So that's the kind of thing that we want to do. So some of the other adventure ideas we have are this is the pie in the sky one. This is the one that's going to take a lot of work to make happen. But probably 2020, I want to take a group of pilots
I'm listening.
from Montana to Alaska up the Alaskan Highway. Fully escorted. You have to have Canadian flight instructors there to be able to say that they're all students, so it's legal. I think that would be the most epic trip ever. This year, I want to go to Montana, to Bozeman. I want to go to Montana and have a free-flying and motoring trip. I want to go to Costa Rica again. I want to go to Czech Republic. It's one of my most incredible flying experiences of my life. It's 10 days of flying in the Czech Republic. I want to go to Spain and explore. And I want to do all of this with our past students and our friends.
Are you talking about flying a paramotor from Montana to Alaska?
Well, you wouldn't fly the whole way. What you do is you wake up early in the morning and you fly like through Lake Louise, right? Like,
Okay. Where are you sleeping?
oh, you have a beautiful RV, of
Okay,
course.
okay.
And a professional driver, so you don't have to drive.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, like it would be expensive, but it would be like the trip of a lifetime.
We could make this happen next year.
Let's call it 2021, just so I don't stress out.
Okay. We could do it.
So JW Ramp says that his baby loves Brady. This is Brady, by the way, guys. This is our rescue greyhound. Brady's amazing.
This is Brady. She won 12 big races. She raced a total of 111. Look at those muscles. Can you guys see the muscles? Probably not.
Absolutely. One piston says something about drinking and flying. I don't know. John asked, can you legally cross the border from the USA?
How are they going to catch you?
Well, actually, yes and no. Not really, no. You can't legally fly across. the border in an ultralight paramotor from the U.S. would have to be a registered aircraft. So it would be drive in and have pre-registered aircraft there. You have to have it registered in Canada, which is why there's like so many layers to this.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot to do, but it's my dream. It's been my dream since I got into paramotoring. When I was 19, I rode my motorcycle
What
from
if you skip Canada?
just fly direct to Alaska.
Fly over it straight to Alaska. Does that work or no?
That would be a short flight,
Okay.
like 70 hours, 80 hours.
Okay.
It's doable. I think it's
So,
totally doable.
In air refuels.
Lots of in-air refueling, yeah. Robert Condella says, looking forward to seeing paramotors at the Lycoming Air Show. Any more details of my first time seeing a paramotor? Man, lots of details. We arrive on either the 10th or 11th. We are going to be going to a whole bunch of local schools, teaching some STEM school classes on aeronautical sciences and what paramotoring is. And then after that, we're doing a whole bunch of radio interviews and then paradigm practice, I believe, on Thursday night. Then our shows, at this point, my understanding is we have shows Friday night and Saturday night, maybe Sunday morning as well, or Saturday morning as well. It's going to be a blast. They're like, the entire community has come together. It's put together by the Rotary Club, I believe, and they have just pulled out the stops. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be very cool.
Yeah. Pray for good weather.
This is a full paradigm performance. This isn't a scaled down performance. We actually haven't done a full performance like
Since
this.
Son of Fun.
Since Son of Fun, yeah. So this will be great. With Tucker Gott and the whole crew. Are you flying?
I'm flying.
All right.
You're announcing.
Eric Farewell
Are you
is
excited?
flying. I'm announcing.
You're announcing.
Ooh. So it's going to be really good.
It's going to be really, it's going to be the best.
So we'll see you guys there.
All right. Let's see. There are more. Vertical lines. What's the difference between reverse or forward launch? That's if you have no wind, can you still foot launch? Yes, you can foot launch and no wind, no problem. Steerable reserve. I do not use a steerable reserve simply because of cost. And most of the areas where I fly, non-steerable is fine to be able to land wherever you are.
What's the cost?
It's like $700 difference for a lightweight steerable.
$700 more?
Yeah.
Wow.
How often do you give SIV classes? We don't. We highly recommend you find an SIV class from someone you respect and trust. We don't currently have an instructor on staff, including myself, who I feel is ready to teach SIV. I'd love to do it someday. I think it's an incredible thing. But I recommend you reach out to Chris Anacroce at superfly-inc.com. They can put you in touch with someone who does great SIVs. All right. Chris asks, can you compare the Parajet Maverick with the Scout Carbon Most 185? Honestly, my friend, the most important things are to try them on, see what you like. Make an educated and experience-based decision versus a marketing-based decision. They're both great units. In the air, the Scout, for many years, was my all-time favorite unit. Without question, it really was. It has the best in-flight characteristics. I personally fly a Maverick, and it's largely because it's lighter. In air, it feels nearly the same, and it's way stronger. And it doesn't have the biggest issue I have with the Scout's geometry is the way that it leans forward on your back when you're trying to launch. Okay. And with my back, I already lean back a lot, but I always feel like I have to overly aggressively do it with the Scout because it literally pitches forward on your back. Awesome units. Miro's amazing. The entire team at Team Fly Halo is great people. Not bashing anybody. It's not my cup of tea. I've had a couple of Scouts. Really enjoyed them when I had them. I helped Shane import the very first one to the U.S.
Cool.
So yeah, you decide. It's a cost thing. It's a strength thing. It's a variation of geometry thing. Nothing bad at all for any of those things. Danny Marsh says, what wings do you prefer or use for ground school training? Man, we use a lot. Yeah. We have around 40 wings in our school trailer right now, 30 or 40 wings. We do our primary training on the Mojo, the Spark 2, as well as Firefly. Gosh, I'm missing some.
The
Phaser
and the
Rapidos.
I mean, I've seen people out there kiting spiders.
Roadster 3s.
Rapidos, yeah.
Yeah, we use a ton of stuff. One person asks, I have the cash to train, but don't have enough money to buy equipment yet. Oh, fuck. Is it okay to come train if I'm not ready to buy equipment? Yes, of course.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
And we have financing.
Exactly. So we do have in-house financing. If you're interested in coming to train and you can't afford your equipment yet, we can help you with financing. But don't hesitate. If you're ready to train, get scheduled now for training because we're already booking for, I think we're in March of next year.
Yep, we're going to be, we've got like a total of I don't know, 8 to 10 spots left for 2020.
For the first quarter.
For the first quarter of 2020.
Now, that said, we are going to be opening up a good number of new slots sometime the next month, we're going to open up some new slots from our second location, etc. So if you're still looking for training, even as soon as January of next year, there will be an opportunity for you to jump into those early slots at the new location. So.
Second location is in Florida. We're not going to tell you where right now, but it's in Florida, and it's fairly close to our first location. So.
And Nina just brought up a really good point. You train on our equipment, so you don't have to have equipment to train.
Right.
We want you to come and train on new equipment that's in good condition, that's been maintained by us. So it's very, very important.
Yep.
Hello to Craig Taylor. Good to see you, sir. Blake Melton says, hey, Eric, I have been interested in PPG. I've evaluated the safety factor as compared to single-engine fixed-wing. So since you're a pilot, which do you feel safer in, especially with landing zones? I feel much safer in the paramotor. I really do. I feel safer in the paramotor unless it's inclement weather. I feel safer in the paramotor because I can literally land it anywhere. Like, you give me a boxing ring and I'm going to find a way to land in it, right? Like, I can do it. I have enough experience. I have enough time. When I'm flying my 180 mile an hour airplane, I'm looking at where's the nearest quarter mile of road to land in, and is there traffic? Now, it's not to say it's not worth it. It's also not to say that, and this is important, statistically, I'm much more likely to lose my engine on the paramotor. It's a 2-stroke versus a 4-stroke. It doesn't have the same requirements for inspections that my airplanes do. So statistically, I'm much more likely to lose the engine on the paramotor, but I feel very confident. I don't feel overconfident with either one. I'm always thinking, where am I going to land, what I'm going to do. So, Yankee NSC1, good to see you, sir. Really, hey, big shout out. Thank you to you for the great email chain you sent me about line degradation, etc. I always find it so valuable when there are members of this community who are willing to put in the time to do the research and really understand what goes wrong with incidents, etc. So, huge thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Danny Marsh asks, what is your training cost or approximate cost? Jean, take it away.
The training cost is $36.40. There's your answer.
But what about the approximate cost, John?
The approximate cost is like right around, I don't know,
$36.40?
Give or take a dollar. No, so $36.40, and it's actually pretty cool because you can sign up right now for a class. You do a little deposit, just a little portion of that, which is refundable all the way up until about 28 days prior to class. But you can break it up into weekly payments. So if you were to jump into our February 15th class, that's 29 weeks from now. That's $90 a week for the next 29 weeks.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not too bad.
People love that.
It makes it easier. It really does.
Well, yeah, because it hurts your feelings when you have to spend $36.40 at once sometimes. I'm that way. It just hurts my feelings to see it go. I don't know why. It's just an emotional tie I have to my money.
Danny Marsh says, is my camper welcome? There is a RV park at this airport, yes.
Yep.
Currently there is. I need a prop, Yankee, and I see one new airbox delivery tomorrow. John Adams, we have a ton of props in stock. Drop us an email or send us a message. It's info@aviatorppg.com. Or if you want to make it really easy and have it go out tomorrow, as long as you order before 2 p.m. tomorrow, it will go out, and that's going to shop.aviatorppg.com. We have a great team here that can take great care of you. All right. Man, there's lots of good questions here. There's a flashing drone. Oh, if you can handle it. I don't understand that question. Sorry, Jim, CR120. I don't understand your question about fishing drones. So feel free. Oh, he's talking about fishing in flight. That's hilarious. Yes, a fishing drone. It's orange, too. We may have to get one. That sounds pretty cool. JW Ramp asks, anyway, Wings Over Winter will come back, maybe at a different airfield. Maybe someday. We've had so many challenges with our local city government and airport management that they turned down our event application despite the massive economic development that it brought to the county and to the city. So we are a little bit sad about that. One Piston, yes, there is places to stay in a trailer during training. JW,
It's here on site. Can we point that out?
Yeah, it's here on
site. So you're you know, the classroom is right there. You're going to be staying about 500 feet away, yards.
So I feel like I have to point this out. The classroom's that way and the campground's that way. Anyone who's listening to the podcast is like, which way are they pointing? I don't understand.
We're pointing north and west.
We're pointing south and east, but you know what?
Whatever.
JW asks, when's a good time to try out the speed bar? It wasn't used at all during training. I'm afraid to take it out of the bag. Never really felt the need to use it. So speed bars can dramatically increase your risk of collapse if you pull main brakes on most gliders, particularly reflex gliders. The consideration with a speed bar that's very important to consider is that as you're learning to utilize it, it can be very intoxicating to have that low-to-the-ground, high-speed feel.
Yep.
And it's incredibly important that you don't succumb to that desire. If you're going to start using a speed bar, use it up high, use it according to the manual, and only use tip steering. You can still use only tip steering if your 2D is tied in as long as you're holding the tip line itself. I generally don't fly with speed bar. I have flown hundreds of hours with speed bar. I love it. It is intoxicating, but it increases my risk profile dramatically.
Why is it intoxicating?
For me, flying very small slalom wings, the idea of being able to increase my forward speed, roll in a little wingtip, so my turn starts with weight shift and wingtip, and then drop off the bar, slap my arms out, and get massive amounts of turn speed is incredible. It feels amazing. My other favorite thing to do is fly right at a tree line at full speed bar, full power, just pop off the bar, slap the brakes, go straight up 80 feet and clear the trees by a few inches. Excellent feeling. Is it worth it for my risk profile, having 3 small kids at home? No.
No.
So I don't generally fly with it unless it's something that's necessary for my mission, whether it's cross country or it's an air show or something. I generally don't fly with it just because it's not really worth the extra risk for me.
Yep.
So that's my reason.
Where's your speed bar when you're launching?
It's connected to Velcro. No, it's not connected to Velcro at the bottom of your harness.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out of the way.
It's not going to go into the prop.
Nope, it's out of the way. It's no
Because
problem.
I know people's buckles do all the time.
Their what's do?
Their speed bar, the buckles or the.
So the speed bar
the
clips.
pulleys or
That's
something, the
another
clips?
reason why I don't fly with speed bar all the time. Is I've never broken a prop, knock on wood, due to any pilot error, except for not fastening the speed bar clips, and I've done it twice.
Does that count as pilot error?
Yeah,
You've done the same thing
total.
twice?
Totally
my
done. Well, the
gosh.
worst part was it was
That sucks.
Son of Fun 3 years ago. Dorn's flying my motor, and he forgot to hook up the speed bar and trashed my
Oh.
prop. He lands, swaps propellers. I hop on. I forget to hook up the speed bar, and I trash.
no.
It's like, oh gosh.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that it's just kind of an oops.
Be careful, guys.
Yeah. So all right. More questions. What was the question? Would you scroll up just... Oh, there was a couple questions. One was, please open a school in Missouri. One was, are you going to open a school in New York? We are working on multiple school locations. So our plan right now is our first new location. It's a wholly owned location that we run. That's the same instructors we have here. They rotate between the schools. Will be open in January. After that, we hope to open a second location, potentially somewhere in the Midwest, in either somewhere between April and July. So we have some opportunities.
Yep.
We would like to do Aviator summer homes, and this is John's idea, so I'm going to let you share it. Share why you're excited about it, and share some of the places that you looked at.
So the main reason I'm excited about it is because summer in Florida sucks. You okay? You good over there?
I'm not dying yet.
Summer in Florida is right now it's 250 degrees outside with 300% humidity.
It's actually a soup bowl. You're actually in a pot of chili.
So the idea is just I have this idea that we want to do summer home where we spend like 2 months, the hottest months in
Even
Florida.
4, yeah.
Yeah, or 2 to 4, and we go somewhere cool like Maine is on the list, Nantucket is on the list, Southern California, just places where the weather is actually nice during the summer, so that we can have a really cool, fun experience and actually teach, take what we would take the whole instructor staff, all the motors, everything, pack them all up, move to one place for like 3 months. I think it's a really cool idea. I think it's a way to serve people that are not coming to Florida in the summer.
The downside is the weather in Florida, while hot and miserable,
I know, it's perfect for flying.
is perfect
I
for
know.
flying every morning. It's
I know.
amazing weather.
But you're committing to so much sweat when you get out of
It's
bed.
true. There is a lot of sweat.
You're making that commitment. Somebody asked, is it $80 a week or $90 a week for the weekly installments? It depends on how far out the classes that you book. So it breaks the 3640 into that many weeks. So if it's 29 weeks out or 31 weeks out or whatever. So
009 asks, can I get the 3-blade E-prop on a Eclipse? You certainly could. If you have a desire to switch propellers, you could. I don't know hardly anyone that's flying a Moster with a 3-blade.
what does it do?
It increases noise, decreases vibration, and is marginal on the thrust differential.
Okay, so if you're
it
looking for that
mainly-
loud noise.
It mainly increases the cost if you make a mistake and damage your propeller. So I'm not sure why
Yeah.
you'd want that 09, but it is an option.
Yeah, if it's what you're used to.
So, yeah. Huge shout out to David Nickerson. Nice to see you in the chat. Never
Ooh.
trust a skinny chef, Shane. Good to see you as well. Slow Days, nice to have you. ES Touch FPV. Guys, what a great group of people. Jim Sierra 120, if you need a Kona owner's manual, we can send you the link, no problem whatsoever.
Dang.
Nina's typing that out right now for
Dave
you.
Nickerson had a good idea.
But we also do have some hard copies potentially somewhere. I'm not sure if your son bought you a used one or a new one.
You know what? He's the one whose son emailed me to surprise his dad.
Oh,
This
Jim's son is the one who emailed Nina to surprise him with a wing. By the way,
Yay.
if my children are still watching, August and Arthur, if you're still watching, they're 6 and 8 years old. If you ever want to surprise Daddy, Daddy would be happy to have a new wing.
Yeah, he wants another free ride.
I just got my new free ride.
Oh,
It's
you got
so
it?
nice,
Oh, good.
dude. The
What
colors
colors?
are beautiful.
I haven't even seen it.
It's gorgeous.
Did you take it out?
I flew it yesterday or
Nice.
Saturday. It's amazing. And then
With-
Ross has been flying
With
the pants
the
off
with
it.
the trike?
No, I didn't fly it on track. I flew it on motor or on foot launch this time. I got to fly it with the trike. Vertical Lines asks, how heavy is your trike? Do you need a different wing? No. If you're flying the Foxy, it's 19.8 pounds with the small wheels. You can fly the same wing generally as long as
pop
you're
out that free ride and get going.
yeah.
As long as you know what you're doing.
Jay Collins says, first American paramotor will be available next month. They're in production right now. Jay, I don't know. I know the guys behind it, and I know there was a huge hoopla about the fact that it turned out it was actually manufactured in China. There is a couple of other brands that say that they're manufactured in the U.S., when in fact their engines and their harnesses and their frames are built elsewhere. So do your research and find out what's actually built in the U.S. As much as we would like to market a U.S.-built paramotor, currently there are not a single one that's a fully U.S.-built system. So as much as I am a huge advocate of having American made, I've done my research, and it appears that there is not one available on the market, nor is there one impending on the market. Jay.
We can assemble it here in the U.S. Sure.
We
can assemble them here all day.
Well, we assemble we have a few fly products on the shelf right now that were American assembled. We got the frames, we got the engines, we got the harnesses, and we assemble them here.
Boom.
If we want to
American
call
made,
it
baby.
American made, but I guess that ethically, maybe I hold myself to a higher standard. I'm not willing to do that.
It depends on what you're trying to use to sell the motor. You're trying to use quality, or you're trying to use marketing.
Exactly. So we try our best to sell based upon our service and on our quality, and we won't ever put ourselves in a situation where we especially directly lie like some of these manufacturers have. So that's just my opinion. So Michael Rajesh, we've seen that generally 3-blade props have more of a I can't think of the right word. It's like it's a higher pitched vibration noise than a 2-blade propeller. All right, let's go back to some questions. ES Touch FPV asks, do you train on trikes? I have a bad back. Jonathan.
We, of course, train on trikes. And our next available trike class is going to be sometime in the summer. Look for those dates in Thanksgiving this year. We have a lot going on, and we're totally booked. We love the trike guys. Trike class is fun.
Trike class is so much fun.
It's very fun. And actually, the reason that we're going to do it next summer is because it's so much easier than foot launching. Can I say that? Is that okay to say?
It's easier physically.
It's physically easier,
it's
which
more
is
demanding
okay out in the
mentally.
heat. It's more demanding mentally, but the heat shouldn't affect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, couple more questions. The question from Vertical Lines: if you build up a lot of energy, how do you dissipate it before you land? Vertical. Once you learn to fly, brother, you'll understand. I like to use as much energy as possible before I land. Generally, I land with at least a 180-degree turn, at the very least a 90-degree turn, big diving turn, trimmed all the way out, maximize speed. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. But you have to have the experience, and that's not a big deal. Eric Sheridan asks, E-prop or Helix? They're both awesome. The Helix generates more power. The E-prop has faster spin-up time. There are some thoughts on whether the E-prop is increasing vibration or the Helix is. We're still looking at more of that information. For a newbie, how many hours of flying would you think it would take before you switch to a new wing? Really depends on the pilot, Shane. We have students that will get 5 to 10 flights, and we will encourage them to go to the next level wing. We have students that might have 70 to 100 hours.
Yep.
Completely depends. Bob Litherrack, how about a 5-blade prop? Let's go for a 75-blade prop. Just call it a turbine engine. Give me some jet as well. Brian Pearson, tell us your thoughts on the philosophies of putting speed in the trims or in the bar. I should let you read that one so I could have a moment to catch my breath. Brian, my opinion on putting speed in trims versus bars. So different manufacturers do it different ways. Speed in trims means that your wing goes more into reflex just on trim, which does not allow you to use primary brakes if you're past a certain point of trim. Trim on bar requires you to use more energy and more strength to push the bar out. However, your brain can interact with you and go, oh, I'm pushing the speed bar out, I shouldn't pull main brakes. For me personally, I'm always going to choose the safer option. I have had a ton of different wings. I've had 2-deck Snake XX, Hadron. I never actually owned a Hadron XX. I've flown a bunch of them. Nucleon XX, all of which have a ton. Universal. They all have a ton of speed in the trims. Where you get past a certain point, you bump your brakes and the wing collapses, right? And that's a bump. We're not talking about pulling. It's about bumping the main brake. It can be a major mistake. So I prefer a wing that helps me stay safer, because we all make mistakes.
Yep.
So Ozone's gliders, one of the reasons why I just love their designers' work, is that they really work hard to have as much performance or more than their competitors, but to maintain a level of safety. So I prefer it in the bar. Let's see. Vertical lines. Do you carry anything to cut your lines if need be, like a reserve? I don't carry a line cutting tool anymore. I have in the past. I do carry a reserve. I would certainly consider, if I were flying more active air, I would probably have I can't think of the right word for a line cutting tool. What's the right word?
A hook knife?
Hook knife. Thank you. I would carry one. All right. Let's see. I weigh about 220. What size Mojo would I need? Jimmy Stewart asks. Probably a Mojo large or XL, depending on your altitude. Craig Taylor, how do we become Paradigm Ground or setup crew, and does that leave room for flying with a team off stage? Flying with a team off stage is going to depend largely upon weather and our schedule. To become ground crew, you already are. Sorry, you're part of the Aviator family, Craig. You learn to fly here. You're part of our life. You're stuck with us. Bring bourbon.
Craig, we'll get with you. And try and let you know what our schedule is. We're not quite sure. We're trying to nail it down for like the day before for like a practice run. They love it when you get right in the middle of their practice. They love it.
Yeah, it's usually our favorite. If you can get right below the guy doing the infinite tumble, super, super solid. It's usually a great plan. Eric Howard asks, can I trade a wing in if I buy a Mojo now and decide I want something else after training? Absolutely. That said, out of all of the wings that we sell, we have the lowest trade-in factor on Mojos of any glider.
Yep, that's the keeper for life right there.
That's the wing you're going to keep so that you always have available. Alejandro Diaz, what tires can you use to fly the Foxy off of a beach? Do you know?
Beach tires.
That's the right answer. You can use beach tires on the main gear. They currently don't offer a fork for beach tire on the front. I'm working on that because my dad on Dog Island wants to be able to fly off the beach. It's something that's on our list. Nina, please remind me. All right. Anime Neok says, most of your factory price didn't drop when they went from titanium to steel exhaust. Oh, it went away. I can't read it.
Oh well.
Command Z. Command Z. Command Z again.
She doesn't know how to use a computer. Keep doing it.
CT Shoot Flyer says, I've been hang on. I've been paramedic for a few years. Is it likely I could free fly down a mountain with my Roadster 3 and Oxygen 1 harness, not die? Or should I get some more instruction? I definitely recommend more instruction. There's a lot that goes into transitioning from motoring to free flight. It's not a huge transition. It's something you can do in a couple of days, but it's well worth your time. An Oxygen 1 harness does not offer back protection, and you really want back protection when you're free flying, because if you hit poor air and you blah, 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 you want to be in a position where you have something to protect your spine. So get some transition time. It will help, and it's cheap. It's worth your time. All right. Anime is asking about the price differential and adjustment for the titanium exhaust versus regular exhaust on the Moster factory. All I'm going to say is that there is big news about the Moster factory coming very soon, and this conversation will be irrelevant in 3 weeks.
What is it?
Can't say.
Just between me and you.
Just between you and me and the other 2,000 people watching.
Okay. Do you guys sell used wings? Of course.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of used wings for sale. We have trade-in wings, school wings. We try to rotate our school wings every class to second class. So if you're interested and you want to find out more about used stuff, feel free to send us an email. You can contact John at aviatorppg.com.
Slow Day says reserve front or side, pros and cons of each. What would be some cons of either one?
The least favorite thing about a front mount reserve.
He's talking about right here, right?
Yeah, is that
Tucker
you have to clip it in each flight. Sometimes you actually have to clip in the entire thing, and that's a real bummer. Like carabiners and all.
Yeah.
That's the con for that. The pro to that is you have a dashboard for your phone, which is really nice.
Just set your phone on it. Yeah,
which
I've
I
seen
really
people
like.
do that, yeah.
I have a side mount reserve.
Yeah.
I've flown with a front mount for hundreds of hours. Side mount's the way to go for me.
Yeah,
it's always there.
And it's never in your way.
Exactly. It's always there. Saeed, we do have Mojos. We actually have
No, we don't.
a ton of Mojos.
No, he needs a Mojo medium.
But we don't have Mojo mediums. We don't have Mojo medium
Mojo
used.
medium
Sorry.
is obviously the most popular size. So
It's
we sell
actually
them very
not,
quickly.
which is funny.
What is a large?
I think probably the largest.
We've had a weird few months, and we've had a bunch of.
Nina just ordered
medium-sized
5 more Mojo mediums, so we should be good. Tony Marzano, can you use a motocross pipe? I mean, you could use it, but if you'd like to have the engine have a warranty and run properly, you should probably use the exhaust that was designed for it. That would be my recommendation. All right, what time is it? Dang, dude, it's only been an hour.
Only an hour, huh?
Wha- It's only 8, or is it 7?
Was there a time change?
It's 7:09.
Was there a time change? There might have been. Torqued off asks, is the base reserve system available for paramotors? Not that I've seen, sir. No.
Saeed wants a small now.
John.
Oh, he's 150.
Saeed wants. Dude, Saeed, you a small
We
at
don't have
most.
small either.
Small at most. We have smalls coming
Okay,
in
we don't-
soon as well. So
Yeah.
we've had a busy summer, guys. Saeed, I'm really sorry. We do have a 25 Spark, I think. So let's talk. Email Nina again. We'll take care of you one way or another.
Get a spark.
It's on demo.
Excuse my
Okay.
lungs, guys. Let's see. Looking for any more questions that I need to answer. How would we explain the weather in December at Lake Wales? Vertical, the weather in Lake Wales in December is either gorgeous or blustery. It depends on if we have cold fronts or not. It really depends. There's no way that we can plan for it as much as I wish we could. I apologize. So
It's generally like 70 to 80 degrees.
yeah, it's generally gorgeous.
We don't. It doesn't get cold till. And it doesn't get super windy till like January, February.
It really depends. I mean, we've had terrible Octobers. It just depends on what the fronts are doing.
Like anywhere else in the world, almost.
Like everywhere else in the world. So, John, yeah, if you were interested in buying a used wing, don't tell your wife about the bank account. Just call Nina, and she'll explain to your wife everything. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Hire a new kitchen.
Dennis, nice to see you, sir. Always a pleasure. Cody Esterline, good to see you as well. Never Trust Skinny Stuff. Shane says, what do you use for a flotation device? We are huge proponents of the Power Float To Be Sure devices. In fact, we are such big proponents, we bought the rights to the entire world's marketing except for Australia and New Zealand
Monopoly.
last
Boom.
year. Just simply because we really believe in not only the design process and the personalized labor that goes into it. I mean, it's a guy, Ben is a really professional guy who's been in the waterbed industry for many years.
Yep.
He loves to fly paramotors, and it was the first one of its kind. There are now copycats out there, but I have nothing but respect for Ben,
Yep.
and so we put a lot of effort and expense into buying the rights, and we believe in them heavily. So
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't want to. There's a few things out there you really don't want to shop around too much and start looking for a better deal on.
Yeah.
You don't want the cheapest helmet.
You don't want the
You
cheapest
don't want
reserve.
a discount reserve. You don't want a discount flotation.
And it's not to say that the other ones might be great. I don't know. I haven't used them, but I do a ton of water foot dragging, and I trust my life to the Power Float because I've seen it work.
Right.
So big deal. Drake says you don't have that vape lung thing going on that's going around. No, I don't. I have what was the best words I've heard from a doctor so far is I have fungal pneumonia.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
10 points, guys.
The guy's walking around with fungal pneumonia.
I'm getting better.
And look at it. He makes a live stream every Tuesday night with the fungal pneumonia.
I've only thrown up once from coughing on the live stream.
Dead man walking right now. That's true. What else we got? Okay.
All right.
Does-
Danny Marsh, I weigh 340 pounds. What size wing and paramotor would you suggest? John, you weigh about 340 pounds.
I'm about 350 now. So I mean, you're looking at an extra large. Actually, still good.
No, it's
Still
too
up
small.
there, isn't it?
Too small. The wing that I recommend anywhere in that weight range. We had a student that was 380 pounds. We called it the Mountain, 6'8", 380, and he ended up on a Ozone Wisp 38, which is a lightweight ENB tandem glider. So he's well within the middle of the weight range on his own. He's flying a Tornado. I would now recommend a Moster at that weight with that wing. It's not a cheap wing, but it's very forgiving, very easy to launch.
You said it's a B wing.
It's a B wing, intermediate wing. He learned on the Magmax 41 and the Swiftmax 41, and then went to the 38 Wisp, and he's been overjoyed with it.
Sweet.
So that would be a recommendation for sure.
But you also have another option. I was well over 300 when I decided to learn how to fly, and instead of going that route, I just lost a bunch of weight. Fly a normal wing. Now I can fly a Mojo large.
Well, you used to be able to before you gained 30 pounds.
I gained 30 pounds since I learned how to fly. I can still do it.
You'd be so far over the placard. No.
I can do it.
Could and should are two different things. Dennis Haig asks, will the EFI continue to improve? If so, I'm buying. Yeah, absolutely. Talk to Alex Huff. Alex is the designer, and he's constantly developing and doing more. So I'm certain that it will continue to improve for sure.
Yep.
All right. I think we're going to take a 3-minute break.
People want free stuff.
People want free stuff?
This isn't the free stuff.
Who wants free
charity
stuff?
hour?
All right. If anyone wants free stuff, share this post on Facebook. Share this post on YouTube. Share this post on MySpace and Tumblr. Wherever you share things, Pinterest pen this thing. wherever you
Don't
share
pin it. Don't pin it.
Share
we
it.
don't want that.
Let us know you shared it. And we will give away a couple free things in just a moment. Partha, yes, the thermaling class is still scheduled for November. We can't wait to have you. If anyone else is interested in learning the beginning aspects of learning how to thermal your paramotor, let us know. We have room. Other than that, guys, leave comments down below. We'd love to have you. And yeah, Blake Melton, I already replied to your question. We will get back with you in about 3 minutes. I'm going to go outside and see if they're flying. Nina, take us off the air in 5, 4, 3, 2. Back. I think it was like a minute and a half, 7 minutes. I don't know. All I know is we went outside and the dogs came outside with us, which is the best part of my Tuesday, by the way. And the best part of all of it is right as we walk outside, we're like watching this guy come into land because the students are all flying right now, and everyone starts screaming and cheering. Whoa! Because I'm pretty sure the last guy in the class who hadn't flown yet, Mike,
Yep.
I think he just had his first solo.
Big Mike.
Big Mike? I really hope it was his first solo because we can't see because he's like 400 yards away, but they're so...
Based on the applause, I assume that was Mike.
Yeah, the applause didn't stop for a while. So, Kurt Duggar asked, would it be okay to visit your facility? I'll be on vacation in Florida next week. Yeah, drop us an email, drop us a line. We're here usually 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and 8 to 5 Sunday and Saturday. and 5 to 5 every day. It really depends. So if we're not busy with students, drop us on the line. We'd love to meet with you. There's almost always someone here, whether it's one of our staff or one of our past students or current students, that'd be happy to have you. So we're going to give some stuff away. First to JW Ramp. JW, you won something. Send us an email, info@aviatorppg.com. And Shane says, I missed my birthday dinner to watch this show. Shane, you won something too. Send us an email. You get something else. I like your T-shirt, by the way. Thank you very much for bringing that. That means a lot. I'm sorry that we didn't get to meet up. I'm bummed about it. Let's see here. And happy birthday, Shane. Seriously, happy freaking birthday. Cannot wait to fly with you someday soon. All right, let's see. Jason Parker, Jim CR120, Joe Sasher, Rodney Newfer. Rodney, you won something as well. Thank you very much. Skip Noel, thank you very much for sharing. And Bob says he just shared on Zello.
Oh,
Bob
good.
Blitheract, you won something as well. That's a bunch of free stuff.
What is Zello?
Zello, I don't even know what Zello is. Zillow is like a real estate site. I don't know.
Zello is not aware.
Who knows? Pablo Pyro says that Rockwell grills the best food. You know, it's funny. I've shared a lot of IPAs over the years with Rockwell. I don't think he's ever cooked for me. Interesting. Jim asks about stuffing the wing into the harness pouch and bringing it like a carry-on. I have done that many times. It can be challenging on a Oxygen 1 to pack a full-size wing into it. It's very, very small backpack area. But I've traveled via commercial airlines with wing and harness many, many times. So, yeah. Any other questions we should answer, Nina?
Yeah, lots.
Anime says, Ozone lists the Mojo as more advanced than the Spark, but Eric said the opposite. Yeah, Ozone may list it as more advanced. They're both A-rated gliders. Our experience with the Spark is that it is slightly more dynamic, thus more advanced than the Mojo. That's in our school.
And that's just because it's new. It's the new tech, though, right?
It has newer technology, and it is more prone to oscillation.
Yeah.
So as a beginner, you want something that's very non-prone. Kevin asks, are the wing weight ranges for the Pilot Plus motor?
Yes.
Yes, they are. It's your all-up weight. And it's not just Pilot Plus motor. It's also your fuel. It's also your, it's everything. Slick Jimmy asks, are there any scholarships for the $750 down payment for training? Not that I know of right now, unless you're an injured veteran that's working through resurgence. We have filed the paperwork for the Aviator Foundation, where we'll be working with our past students and with our commercial friends to try to help those in need, whether it be a first tandem flight or an airplane ride or something like that, to be able to share the gift of flight with more people. But I don't know if that will include a scholarship at this point. Most likely, if it does, it will be for someone who, whose home burned down and they lost their parents and they want to learn to fly. Like we want to help those who really are struggling. And otherwise, we can all. Otherwise, we can work hard for it. Yep. So, how many pieces to a wing? Just a wing and a harness. Vertical, I'm not sure I understand your question. I wish I did. Predator Parameter, welcome to the show, sir.
One piece.
Yeah,
one
there's
big
a wing
piece.
and there's a harness, and there's
The
like
line- everything's
3,600 pieces in the average glider that are all sewn together.
You think that's what he's
But
asking?
the harness does not come with.
The
No,
harness does not come with the
harness is
wing.
not
No,
part of
the
the
harness is a personal preference choice. There's lots of different options. All right, what else do we have in here? Let's see. If it's getting bumpy and you're on a wing with long trims, do you go trims in an active pilot, or do you go trims out and rely on that safety, quote unquote, of a Reflex wing? It depends on your school of thought. For many years, when Reflex came out, the concept was that if you were trimmed out and on speed bar, the wing couldn't collapse, much like the Titanic can't sink, or couldn't sink. I have flown both schools of thought. Generally, my rule of thumb is to trim in an active pilot. However, I've had many, many hours of flight time in Czech Republic on full bar, full Reflex, trying to keep up with everybody else who's doing the same thing, and none of us experienced a collapse. So I think it really depends on the glider design and just how much you're willing to trust it. As a pilot myself, I generally am not as willing to trust in technology as I am my own experience. So that's me. That's been my personal experience with it. You can do either. My encouragement is to read the manual, to go to an SIV clinic, learn what the wing does when it collapses, and what you can do. Trent Brotzler says, what fuel do you recommend? Our school runs 90-octane ethanol-free recreation gas. You can buy it from a marina, generally, or you can go to puregas.org and find out more. That's about a 95 octane European rating, which is what most brands recommend. Shane says that he'll come and cook for us. Dude, Shane, get down here, bro. Come and cook, and come on a day that we can actually hang out. So Yeah, I love free food. That's like
Nice.
my dad's 2 favorite 4-letter words
Oh,
are
he didn't
free
say he
and
was
food.
paying for it.
I mean, I'll pay for the food if he'll cook it. That's fine. I'm not too.
Can you be
scared.
here Sunday?
Can you be here right now? I'm real hungry.
And happy birthday.
And happy birthday. Scroll down just a little bit for me. I won the Tucker giveaway when they announced, but they mispronounced and misspelled my name.
Mispronounced and misspelled and called the wrong guy.
Tim Curran says, is there such a thing as too hot, too humid to fly, i.e. vapor lock potential? Too hot and too humid. Not as far as vapor lock goes. I've never heard of that happening. Too hot and too humid because of high density altitude and challenging to launch, perhaps. But yeah, Kevin, if a Mojo power size for a pilot plus motor, is it too big for free flight? Depends on what motor you fly. If you fly a 100-pound motor, yeah, you're going to be sized out. If you fly something like you see behind me here, which is an EFI'd Moster Eclipse that weighs in at about 52, 53 pounds, you can buy a Mojo that you're at the top of the weight range for and have a Mojo that you're in the mid-range for or low range for with free flying, and then you can always weight yourself down. You can always add some water to your harness, that kind of thing.
Not to your gas tank.
That's right. Vertical lines. I want to purchase a wing, so I need a harness also for kiting. Yeah, we recommend the Ozone Oxygen 1 or our own Aviator harness, which is pretty funny. You should watch the video if you guys haven't seen it. Shop.aviatorppg. Go check it out. And you will giggle hilariously at John's video.
I like the harness. It's a good fit, fits everybody, and it mimics sort of like the same clip-in area that you'll experience in flight.
We have more coming next week.
We have new ones coming in next week because we're sold out right now, I think.
Yep.
Let's see. So Derek Trout says he won.
Yeah.
Yep.
He really did.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, I can't wait to meet you, dude. You are like the luckiest guy ever, and please go buy a lottery ticket.
Yep. Derek and his wife, Janine or something.
Is she coming to fly too?
No, she'll be here.
Dude, if he bought it, it'd be like getting 2 for 1.
I know he needs to. Well, there's not
The
a
class
spot.
is
That
full.
class, filled up a long time ago.
How's the EFI kit working out, John?
It's great. It's not something that we're just giving away.
We haven't had any issues at
People
all.
have
with
been
it
asking
so
for a
far.
free one, so that's why.
Oh, we could give away a free one.
No.
I mean, Alex Huff would have to do it for free, but I mean, that's
Yeah, it works out great. People love it, but you need to. We're not going to just send it to you. You need to bring your motor to us, and we'll put it on.
right. Absolutely. Derek, Leanne is coming. Is her name?
Leanne,
Awesome. Love you too, Derek.
I said Leanne last week. I was correct.
Super glad to have you, man.
Oh man. Yeah,
Predator says,
we're
anyone
stoked.
near Ohio, feel free to come and visit. Predator, it's good chatting with you earlier. I apologize. So funny story. Last week, I think it was Tuesday, you're like, dude, I saw this guy who I know, who I'm friends with, who's instructor, who's like learning to water foot drag after 7 hours. And then
Yeah.
that guy popped up in the chat.
Yeah, he's Deepwater Foot Dragon.
And I was like, hey, so John said you're not ready to water foot drag. And then somebody went out and like found out who his instructor was and like burned his instructor a new one because he was water foot dragging. By the way, he's got like close to 50 hours. He's been water foot dragging on his own for a long time. He has the experience. He's cool. And
You're talking about this pilot?
this
or?
pilot, the
Okay.
pilot has. And so the instructor called me today and is like, just so you know, like that wasn't the truth. And people are starting to harass me. So if you're
No,
watching
no.
this live stream or you're listening to this podcast, please don't spend hours and hours of your time researching who someone's instructor might be
You're
and trying
saying
to find their
somebody who watched this did
last
that?
week. They watched the podcast last week. They figured out the guy's full name, not just the first name that I said on the stream. They went and found that guy's Instagram page, figured out who he trained with, and then called to harass his instructor about the fact that he's encouraging him to do something unsafe, despite the fact that I had the wrong information
Which
because
one of you
had
guys
the
did
wrong
that?
information.
Which one of you guys did that?
So I'm really sorry, Chris.
Who did that?
It's one of those things where I'm always surprised because I really appreciate that the community, like our community, our little community of people who are listening and watching, are trying to protect each other. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome. I
Well, you
really
were-
think it's
yeah.
awesome. But remember, be gracious because maybe
Yeah.
like, I didn't have all the information. I had the information that you had.
Well, you didn't even know who trained him, or you
No,
weren't
I
even
didn't
talking
know.
about his instruction or anything.
Yeah, I didn't talk about any of that.
I mean,
so I didn't even mention that
people-
he was with his
yeah.
instructor. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah, people are famous for leaving school and then doing things that are against everything that school stands for. It happens all the time.
Oh, 100%. There's a guy named John Hancock.
Yep.
You should see the crap he tries to pull just out of school. It's crazy. It's crazy. So anyway, I had a great conversation with Chris. I really like him. I keep trying to get him to work here. He hasn't worked here yet, so. All right. Vertical asks, what show takes place in December at Lake Wales? Open house to fly in any equipment. Do you have any vendors show up? No vendors. Just us.
What's he talking about?
He's talking about Aviator Days.
Oh.
Yeah, so Aviator Days, you can sign up
Oh.
if you're an experienced pilot and you want to come and fly everything we sell, everything we have in stock. You can sign up. There are a few slots per day for a week in December. You can come hang out with us. And
There might be a few
yeah.
spots left. Aviator Days is just a way for us to demo all of our stuff in a short amount of time so that we don't have to keep, sending it out all over the country.
Yeah, I still don't have my wing back yet. My
People-
wing has been gone since like July 3rd, and
Well,
I'm really
didn't
upset
he
about
buy
it.
it?
No,
Oh, wow.
no, I want my wing back.
Yeah, so,
And if they're coming to Aviator Days,
If they're coming to
and
Aviator
want
Days
a wing,
and want a wing,
they need to email us in advance.
they need to email us
Yep.
in advance so we
Yep.
can make sure we have it. We're repeating Nina. You can't hear. We need to get a microphone
know.
for Nina. You know what we should do? We have 100 people watching live right now. What we should do, like legitimately, just get everyone to go on the website and buy something silly so we can afford another microphone.
Okay, everybody go buy a neck buff.
No, it needs to be like wingtip strobes.
Go buy some wingtip strobes, everybody.
If
And
you don't
we
have
can-
wingtip strobes
and we can
yet,
get
if you don't have
Angelina a
or you
microphone.
don't have a leather patch cap, those
Yep.
are like really super
Very
nice
cool.
because we need to buy a new mixer, which is like $700. Isn't it? How much is that new mixer? It's expensive.
That's going to be a while before we can get
Well, we
that.
can't put a third microphone in this one. There's only
Right,
2
that's true. I
slots. So we
just
have to get a new
remembered.
mixer.
She just needs
The
to know.
microphones are only like $200. But this is the biggest, aside from Paradigm, this is the biggest investment we make for the sport that doesn't make us any money.
But it's fun.
But we should have like
Yeah.
a trending hashtag of hashtag get Nina a mic.
Yeah, we're not going to do a GoFundMe, but if you want some really sweet strobes or a cool hat, please go buy it.
Yes, please. And if you guys just like to support us throughout this process, as we are trying our very best to get things moving forward and have better equipment. We need like 4 more cameras too. And I was thinking, like, we need to have like weird camera positions. Like I want to have like one that hangs from the ceiling so you can see
Oh.
my bald spot. We
Nice.
need all the things.
Okay. Bald spot cam.
There's not really a bald spot. It's just thinning. My wife says it's just thinning.
It's just thinning. We're good. Everything's good.
Slow Days, thanks
it's
for
helmet
buying
hair.
that. Damage.cc, thanks for buying the wingtip strobes. Guys, we're going to sign off here in a minute. We're 90 minutes in, 2 hours into the total podcast. We're going to go ahead and close this down. If you have any last second questions, I'm going to lightning round them as quickly as I possibly can. You have 30 seconds to get your questions in. I'm going to lightning round every answer I can. Whenever I take a breath, John, it's your turn to lightning round, okay?
Let's do it. Lightning round.
All right. They have 15 seconds left. Actually, I probably lied. They probably have like 20 seconds. Now it's 15.
Of what?
To get their lightning round questions in.
Oh, okay. Good lightning round. One of the top lightning
I
rounds.
feel like we're on Love Line right now. Are you Adam?
What?
All right. Does the Invelo Deluxe helmet count as a hat? Yankee and SC1. Yes, sir, it does. If you didn't hear my note earlier, thank you for your email. Deeply appreciate all the time and research you did. In fact, I learned a few things I didn't know about. Bruce Sorka, good evening. Great to have you. Facebook Team Skybrat, Predator Paramotor. Nice to see you. Jack Burton, Electric Paramotor coming soon. It is ready to fly right now. We have 5 different major design changes coming. Steven Zavani, what is the meaning of life? 42. Ripman Writing, thank you very much. Adam Nick, have you put EFI on? I can't read the rest of it. On a factory yet? No, we have not. We don't have any factories here simply because the factory motor is more expensive and doesn't offer enough extra value for the majority of our school units. Alejandro Diaz, is it worth to fly with the wingtip lights during the day? An hour before sunset, yes. Go up a little bit. I missed it. Blake Melton, since you have both the pilot and single engine and PPG, what do you feel is safer? Blake, I've already answered this question for you, my friend. Listen back earlier in the show. JW Ramp, new shirts coming very soon in the store. There's additional shirts available if you go to our Teespring. Go to one of our recent videos. Go to the description. Look for our Teespring.
If you're on YouTube now, you can just scroll down. You'll see our shirts down there, and you can actually click on the storefront, and you'll see all the designs.
What is the most common noob PPG mistake? Steel Mesh asks. Most common noob mistake is sitting down too early.
Big time.
Big time. JCS, why not make electric PPG longer battery life / flight time? Weight.
Oh, good idea.
I never thought of that. No, it's all about the weight. If the issue is the weight, it's too much weight with the oversized batteries. After class November 1st week, I'll stop by to cook for you guys. Shane, then maybe we can do a flight together. If not, I'll stop by and cook for you guys. No problem. Are you going to class here? I thought you were going to class somewhere else. You should come to class here, Shane. If
said
you're not
first
coming to
week.
class here, let's talk. I can get you in a class slot. Predator asks, am I fast? I'm in lightning mode, so hopefully. David Gillier, do we sell used motors? Yes, we do, absolutely. In fact, we have 7 or 8 used motors available right now. Jack Burton, when are we going scuba diving? You tell me, my friend. I need my certification. I want to go. Let's make it happen. And with that, they've stopped asking questions.
Woo! We're clocking out. We're punching the clock.
We picked up like 10 people during that lightning
I
round.
know.
It's pretty great. Oh, Jim CR120, I've heard heavier pilots fly faster. How much
Heck
faster with
yeah,
all the
we
other
do.
factors the same? Do you ever race? Do we race? So, John, you recently had a wonderful flight in
Yes.
Wisconsin with 2
Yes.
pilots flying expert level gliders
Oh, man.
that were much lighter than you. What was your experience?
God, I love this. I love that this happened. 2 of the Martin brothers, which are on the Paradigm team, were trying to catch up to me, and Adriel and Ethan Martin could not catch me. I'm on a Mojo Extra Large 31 meter, and I'm super fat. I was going so fast, and they just couldn't catch me. That's just because I'm just loaded a lot more than they were because they're on a much more efficient glider, and man, it was.
And they
so
weigh like
cool.
160 pounds
Right,
apiece.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, weight is everything for speed. It
I was
really
zooming.
is. So, I've flown, my smallest glider I've flown is a 10.5 meter.
Ooh.
And I was 193 pounds at the time. That was real fast.
How did you land that?
Real fast. I don't mind high-speed landings. It's great. Eric Sheridan, when am I getting my CFI? I'd like to get my CFI next year. I don't have an exact plan for it. We have some insane plans for next summer, so it may not happen until the fall.
JW Ramp, Teespring link is not in the description. If you actually scroll down more, just keep scrolling
He said
down.
you check the old ones too. Is it Aviator?
it's not in the description.
Aviatorshow.teespring? Is that
No,
what it
no,
is?
it's I don't know. It's not in the description. Nina, click the shirt button. Is
Buy
there a shirt
Aviator
button?
merchandise. We're going to put the link in the chat right
Click
now.
the shirt button on the controller. Click the shirt button. Let's see what happens. Did it pop up?
Yeah.
Haha, there's your link
Boom,
right there.
we go. We got links coming in the chat right
Okay,
now.
now get rid of it.
And there's more shirts than just those 3.
They got it.
And there are a lot more shirts coming, guys. We have actually a couple artists working right now on designs. And if you're an artist or you have an artist in your life that you think would like to contribute, some of our best T-shirt designs have actually come from tattoo designers.
Yeah.
So we'd love to bring out more shirts. One of our favorite things about T-shirts is they don't have any warranty requests. So it's really. I mean, we have a full-time gal on staff that does nothing but take care of warranties because we want to make sure that our customers are served. So, good stuff.
Pablo wants to know if I trike or foot launch. I'm a foot launch guy now, but I'd love to learn how to trike. It's on the bucket list.
You need to make it happen.
Yeah.
Roddy Newford, thank you very much. Vertical lines, how many pilots are too many to fly with? It really depends on your experience and how much space you have. JW, thank you, my friend. Blake Melton, thank you very much. Jim, CR120, Tony Marzano, good to see you. Guys, everyone, thank you all for being a part of this. Will Wobb, Will, seriously, awesome to have you down here, and I would love to work with you through my CFI. That would be amazing. If you'd like to come down and visit anytime, come fly with us. You always have a motor to borrow here, and text me anytime. Steel Mesh, when is Nina going to get a mic? When we sell 100 more T-shirts. All right. Guys, thank you so much for all of your kindness and for joining us. We look forward to next week. Craig Taylor, have a great week. Bite Man Hoodie. And John, guys, thank you all for being a part of our lives. John Hancock, thanks for being on.
Yep.
Huge shout out to Rick, who was on the show early on, who's actually out there flying right now.
Oh, so
and,
jealous.
yeah, I'm going to go out and watch, I think.
So jealous.
So, guys, have a great night. We will see you next week. Looking forward to it. Have a great evening. So long.
Cool.
Clear.